Thank you guys for all your work. Thank you.
I
season.
So Dave motions, 5 seconds. Any questions, comments about the minutes?
I'm sorry, did you do like a full approval or are they?
They're both. But we can back up if we need to.
They are the minutes from January 11th, 2023 and February the 8th, 2023.
And then like a 2022 one.
Oh, thank you. And a third one. Monday, November 9th, 2022. Those are the 3 sets. I was like, where are they?
All right.
And you can vote, even if you're.
All right. I'm not hearing any questions or comments. All in favor of approving these 3 sets of minutes? Raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item, discussion items.
We don't really have any discussion items, but we are, kind of blending it with communications items. So based on the work plan, been working really closely with Tom, and he's been also communicating closely with PRAC. So I'll just go through what he provided. I'll hand this out too, because just so you can take it home with you. It's his stuff. BCUSA, so Parks and Rec staff are working with planning, public works, and parks to prepare a draft plan. And our thinking is that we will provide this for PRAC and NRC to review and comment on in winter 2026. But we are having a joint meeting with PRAC, and we think it will be in February. So it'll be our first 2026 meeting as NRC, but it'll be a joint meeting with PRAC and to look that draft plan up. And then it'll get revised as necessary, be reviewed by PRAC, NRC, and the City Commission, and then we'll submit the application once everybody has had time to draft.
Pete, I'm sorry if I missed something. I'm assuming this is about the B City, the Integrated Pest Management. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
For this winter 2026 for this coming early 2026.
I think he meant 2025, but no, I think by the time all the committees have had a chance to look at it, he might actually be winter 2026, but we'll see. It'll depend on the draft in February. We'll see. We'll get a much better timeline adoption or application then. Emily, did you have any more questions about it? I don't know a lot about it, but we'll be able to attach the current drafts to the next agenda.
Yeah, I'm just curious to read it. I mean, there's a lot of, I think, ways to go about it. I'm curious if there's like a timeline attached to any of it. Yeah, just general curiosity, but no specific questions without actually having seen the document.
Right. Yeah, well, that's great because I don't have those kind of dates yet. And I think part of it will be a scheduling thing, and we'll try to come up with a draft schedule with that. Tree City USA, our annual applications due in 5 days. And I'm close to finalizing it. So this is where we get data on tree removals associated with land use, tree removals from the trees program, any city staff tree removals that have to go through the same permitting process as anything else, compile all of that data. so type 1, type 2, any permits that require tree replacement, we try to catch all of that. But there are also other programs outside of planning, like the Ivy team and various other things that are eligible expenses. So I talked to Hannah Schmidt about what they spent on the Ivy program this year and how many volunteer hours there were and that sort of thing. So that's part of it. And then looks like any EAB work that we do as well could contribute to that. So it's difficult to get your arms around when you don't know what other departments are doing because it's part of their daily work, but we try to. And I think when I punched in the numbers, that we're right around $10 per capita. I think once we factor in Friends of Trees program, which is budgeted at $45,000 a year to support the Friends of Trees planting program, that counts. So it might bump us up a little bit more to 11 or 12. And then there's potentially the Growth Award, but the Growth Award is only awarded if you have something above and beyond the minimum standards. Whether you've done some public outreach, public engagement, planting of trees in areas that are, like natural resource areas and that sort of thing. And to that end, Tom and Parks Department have identified a couple of parks that really don't have any improvements in them. One is next to the fire station down on South End Road. It's called Oak Tree Park. Nothing in it. So it'd be a good candidate for tree planting and establishing an actual native tree stand. That's Tom's idea. And then there's another park, and I didn't know this is what it was called, but next to on Holmes Lane, you know where the new development is. And it's surrounded on one side, on the east side by Stafford Park, and then there's a strip of land that connects to Singer Creek Park, and they call that Singer Creek Annex, because it reaches out and touches Holmes Lane. That's also got nothing in it. It's just mowed. And if you go over towards Singer Creek, you're starting to get into the actual natural resource overlay district there and geologic hazard areas as well. But that's another option for more natural area plantings, which I think would be wonderful. Trees USA. So that's Trees USA.
Pete, I had a follow up before I forget, before we change it, I guess. That little annex area by Stafford, does that not have, was the Parks Department not considering that to be an off-leash dog park? Is that correct? Or is that just, are they talking about like the area behind that field or?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe I can't remember. I know there's a couple dog park locations proposed, but I thought that was one.
I think the one that they've been talking about is over at Wesley Lynn Park.
Yeah, there was an additional one.
Okay.
I thought that's what it was. I thought they were waiting for the developments to be done and there needed to be a fence put in. But if that is the case, then I'm just wondering, like, because you mentioned these were parks that don't have any improvement planned, but I just wanted to confirm that there wasn't like a miscommunication there and like what the plan was. Or maybe I just misinterpreted where they were.
He didn't say that when he was talking about Singer Creek, he said he didn't mention the dog park thing. Okay,
I wonder if I misinterpreted or if that plan has been changed since I think that was mostly talked about on PRAC. So I'm curious what the current status of that area is.
Well, they are getting geared up to do the master plan for Clackamas Park as well, and what the specific improvements for what would go in with Clackamas Park redevelopment there. And so I know people have asked for dog parks there as well. But that will be a whole separate public outreach process for that entire park.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Tree canopy assessment. So Tom said he's been working with ODF to gain access to tree plotter software and have secured access to the tree inventory portion of the software. And they're working on uploading tree data. They're going to continue to update us on their progress as they move forward with that program. Additionally, volunteers from Clackamas Community College may be interested in assisting with tree service in the spring season. I don't know anything about the details behind the Clackamas Community College or any of that, but we can get an update on it in February as well.
Make my students do it.
I want to be involved in that, and
Cool.
I can advise if that's
Great.
interest.
Yeah.
I just focusing on Ash. So just an idea to mull over. It just kind of hit me in the head right now. So we should spend some time with it. But
Yeah, Brian, the next item is about emerald ash borer from Parks. So they're saying on the EAB mitigation plan, as Denise mentioned, they had a presentation from ODF about that to the City Commission. And Parks and Rec are working on preparing an EAB mitigation plan for review by PRAC, NRC, and the City Commission. The plan would outline the city's proposed actions to mitigate long-term effects from emerald ash borer on city-owned trees. Staff been surveying properties for identified ash trees to understand how the invasive pest would impact street trees, water quality facilities or storm ponds, and park trees. They've also identified some code amendments that may be needed to address it, such as removing ash from any planting lists or codifying management of existing ash trees in city parks. And they're preparing to discuss this draft at the February 2026 meeting, the joint meeting. I'm hoping that we also get input from Public Works on that because they've been working independently on the Public Works sites and have identified where they have ash in those already. So it needs to be an integrated plan.
My question about that, and maybe there's more to come, but what about private trees? Especially since we do have wetlands and, ash is a wetland tree on private property as well as, so is there any plan to address those?
More to come. Yeah.
I can speak like kind of in not necessarily citywide terms, but Clackamas Soil and Water Conservation District is working with homeowners and landowners to inventory them. Our riparian guy, Eric Butler, he is also actively working to inventory ashes within the Clackamas watershed. So there's a lot of overlap there. It's not just the city. So I do think it's important for the city to do its own inventory, but it's going to be a collaborative process with the Soil and Water Conservation District and probably with CRBC and Great Oregon City Watershed Council and kind of, it's going to take a lot of hands and a lot of GIS eyes and stuff. So
Is there already a connection with the city and the Clackamas River Basin Council? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not
yes.
blazing new trails that need to be made. So
No, and we're on it. The struggle is money, and I know the city struggles with it, so do the nonprofits. So just kind of trying to identify funds to get us all involved. Because if we had the money for it at CRPC, we could inventory all of the ash trees in a year. Probably. But yeah. But so I think the not straight answer is it's collaborative. There will need to be money and grant funds pulled out of somewhere. Maybe a community enhancement grant. So anyways,
Well, part of it I was thinking is when it comes to private property is education.
Yes, and that's Soil and Water Conservation District. I think maybe last time I shared that I help with a lot of those workshops. We do a lot of the outreach. CRBC does outreach. Great Oregon City does outreach. so it's like piecemealed together. And I think, the city won't need to build a new wheel or whatever. And there's a lot already happening. So I think like communication between organizations, I'm happy to be a bridge, which like I'd offered last time too. I'm very happy. I look forward to this February meeting because there's a lot already going on. We can definitely combine forces. Okay.
But with that in mind, just because we're talking about it, there's potential funding that you please. So Oregon Community Trees that I am on has grant money to spend.
Who does
on workshops?
Who does?
Oregon Community Trees. And I told them that Oregon City might be a good host if, people are interested, if people, staff, commission, and then committee members in attending to then do this workshop where we can invite property owners, residents, neighboring cities that don't yet have DAs on all the things that goes into a mitigation plan, goes into a response plan, everything like that. So beyond just the initial education of what is EAB to what as a city are we going to do about it and be ready. So I have energy and interest and money. Yes, available. Yeah, not me.
Those are all three.
Oregon City loves those. We just need people to attend.
Yeah. So I do. I mean, I think to double up on what the city is already doing and planning and accounting for in their budget, for us to just piggyback on that and to look for that funding. I can help with things like marketing. I can do that at work and get paid for it too. Just overlapping. And so I think that's probably where committee members can really. So I don't know if you want to meet maybe separately.
Well, I'll call you and I'll loop you in if you want to have a joint meeting. Anyone else?
If it's only
the other, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, if it's only two of us, then it's not an official meeting, right? But if it's three or more, is it?
We have to provide notice of them.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Well, if anyone else is really keen, I can give you notes. Or you can give me questions and notes, and I can integrate them as part of the team.
And the nice thing about it being such a big effort, obviously, is because you can leverage, communications, media, exactly this kind of thing. So our communications coordinator, Jared, is a huge asset to all of the other departments because he can put stuff together quickly for social media and big pushes and things of that nature, as well as the trail names, which is, I believe they're going to monthly again. Hello? What?
You mentioned Jared. That made me remember. I emailed him, I think 3 times now about getting a blurb for the NRC, like a recurring blurb in the trail news. Could you maybe just request? It would be nice to get something going that the NRC could put out, and I'm happy to write those. Have it be like a seasonal prefab thing, and then with any emergent issues like EAB or other things, just for community members to be aware of.
Okay, all right. I will circle back with Jared on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, before we get off of EAB, is anyone aware if ODF or somebody like that has made contact with the USDA, APHIS, Animal Plant and Health Inspection Service? I know that they have grants and mobilize federal resources even into cities. And I just want to make sure that somebody has thought of it. I assume somebody has, but I don't want to be quiet and wait.
I can't answer you definitively. Yeah.
They do have APHIS confirming the identified infestations. So before they can be considered a quarantine area or anything like that, they have to get APHIS to do the big check mark. I don't know if there's money in APHIS
I know that there's APHIS money that's helping the soil and water conservation programming right now, and that was the trapping program that they did for 2 years. So that's they're both there.
I guess we can explore their resources.
I know they have grants. I thought they gave grants to like states, tribal groups, maybe nonprofits. I don't know.
So is there any questions that staff or planning, others are still exploring and need some advice on before they finalize their draft?
Oh, I think, I mean, we're going to be discussing February and asking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, if there's any sticky wickets,
Yeah.
we have a big network.
Yeah. Okay. Funding, there is the Metro Nature and Neighborhoods Community Choice Grant Program, which is funded by the 2019 Parks and Nature Bond. And there are several Oregon City-based projects that have made the cut and have been applied for already. I don't know what they are. But that cycle was open through November 7th. The top projects moving forward for refinement and site concept planning. So if you have any concerns or questions about that program, Tom is really plugged into it. Kissinger. There's been community voting on which projects, and so the focus is benefiting communities of color, indigenous communities, and people with low incomes who have been historically underserved by government investments. And so they received 170 submissions, many in Oregon City. And that includes accessibility improvements to park amenities and natural resources. And he's saying that many of those projects meet the goals and objectives of the recently adopted Parks and Recreation System Plan and our pending 6-year capital improvement plan for parks, which I haven't seen yet. Much to discuss at the February meeting, you know.
Okay.
Well, does Metro have a date for their deciding? Did you say that?
For the next cycle?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's the same every year, Dakota, but in the past, I think it's been like the end of March was their application.
Okay.
And I feel like they have.
Quickly, she's very dynamic, strategic, public planner and employee. She's got a bigger focus than just planning. She really understands how kind of cities work and how departments should work together. So it's been a breath. Well, Aquila was amazing too, and so I've been lucky enough to have 2 directors who are great. And she is very much looking forward to that February meeting as well. So she'll be involved in all that.
Great.
Person Lebanon, City Lebanon. So, back. Members?
Anyone else have announcements or applications you want to share? Use space.
I said I'd bring it up, so I will. Denise posted the video of the arborist on the street tree on Facebook. Did everybody get
Downtown?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know all about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. As the same book.
They went down and got all the diameters and
Oh, you had to do that?
I went down because I wanted to get diabetes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. Great. No, that's, yeah. So are you aware of what happened? You're not on Facebook.
So, yeah.
There was a private business who hired an arborist to come and basically limb the trees right there on Main Street. I don't know that Denise took down the video. If you're on Facebook, you can find it. There are some nasty comments, to say the least. I texted Dee Dee and was like, I got it. You know. And Dee Dee was, obviously riled about it as well. And so, I think that it should probably be addressed in some way. You know, being an advisory committee, I do not know.
I can tell you what planning did. You know, so it was code enforcement call.
Right. And
so multiple departments responded before planning even knew about it. And then they were like, well, what do they need to do? And I was like, well, they need to come in and get permits that they're supposed to have gotten the first time. So, which is tough so what happened was they topped the trees.
Along Main Street?
There were one property owner had 3 properties. The trees directly abutting those properties got topped by the contractor this guy hired.
100% can't.
Can you give me like cross sections? I'm kind of lost.
Like Bank of Commerce, 500th block of Main Street down there, out in front of the Pioneer.
Main Street.
Pioneer
Pub. But like, by the elevator. Like not far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, around the corner.
Oh, so did he like just hack?
They didn't know what they just.
They talked. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, they were clearly. So we have a definition for, severe canopy removal in the code, more than 50%, or anything that's
That's essentially
debilitating, and we say that is a removal. And we're requiring the highest amount of mitigation that we. I don't know.
Okay.
I think they find the property owner because if they have if they can't get a hold of the contractor, they can get a hold of the owner and potentially lien the property. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I heard. So a lot of the citation and the court and the judge's ruling all happened before we even found out about it.
This court date.
Yeah.
It was like early December, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was like, whoa. So
yeah,
a couple of not just a couple of trees, but 2 different species of trees. So it's like a fastigiate English oak, and the other was Chanticleer pears, which are not my favorite tree, but they were mistreated.
I mean, it's not just like that. If it's not the way to demonstrate good care.
Yeah, it is. In one sense, it was so public and so shameful that it raised public awareness.
There were a lot of, folks though who did not understand why this is a bad thing, and that, and so I had 2 things that I was posting to comments. I wasn't like arguing with people, but I was posting our statute, our city code that says no more than 50%, that's removable. And then the, arborist, the IHA, their guidelines for
ISA standards.
ISA standards. Yeah, so definitely started conversations. And the public visibility awareness was good, but also, there's a lot of communication to be done.
Yeah, we'll say it on the permit for sure, but we've already said that, you're not going to get away with the 1-foot bond, and you're not going to be able to leave them there because all, long-term problems that could develop when they start growing back.
Yeah, I'll be curious if those trees survive.
Yeah. They never had much to grow in the first place. They were, in planter boxes.
Yeah.
So
be watching.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was it. Said I'd bring it up, to the constituents.
No clue.
Yeah.
When we meet, or maybe I can email you the video that
I didn't know about that. I just got, photos from the code enforcement department. So
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Dakota. Yeah, it was a total hack job. Just totally butchered them. There was no foliage left for anyone who hasn't seen the video. They literally just cut it down pretty much. Like it wasn't a stump, but it was like it was like they were making a snag, but it was like a poorly done snag. Just really.
Well, plus they blocked the sidewalk without a right-of-way permit, and it just kind of went on and on.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh well.
Yeah, total disaster there.
Yeah.
I'm curious what who the contractor was.
Oh, I can tell you. Spill Snells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Public knowledge.
But yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, thanks for that. I'm happy news.
It's so sorry.
Any other comments?
City of Lake Oswego has added an urban forestry position.
Okay.
So, I know leverage.
It'd be fascinating to know what all they're responsible for in terms of between departments.
Yeah, the Fallen Parks currently. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
I have one more update. I'm not entirely sure how it'll affect this committee, but Oregon State ODA is no longer going to provide funding or actively manage Japanese beetles. I've mostly heard about this update through friends who work in nurseries, and they're pretty much all sounding the alarm as to how bad this is going to be. It was only $2 million in funding, but I think it's expected to cause like $60 million in damages and related lost revenue for nurseries. So if it's affecting nurseries, I'm assuming it's just affecting, everything that's outside. So yeah, that's a major bummer. And it was such a small, $2 million for the whole state. And especially considering we have such a active nursery industry in the state, seems like a missed opportunity there. But yeah, definitely something we're probably going to be seeing more of unless that changes.
Great. Well, wish you all thanks.